So the 4Runner currently has got 180 to 190 horsepower, somewhere in that range, and it weighs in at just under 4,000 pounds or so. So it's not exactly a fast vehicle. I'm not really expecting to turn this thing into a hot rod, but I'm hoping that the Supercharger will give it some much needed performance gain so it feels better on the road. I think it's going to improve drivability overall. The vehicle is just going to feel more responsive with the Supercharger. I'm hoping anyways, because right now it's bone stock, and like I said, it is not that fast. So now we're a few months in on the Supercharger install, and I think that the Supercharger is definitely beneficial. I feel a lot more low-end torque in the vehicle. Gears 1 and 2 have a lot more power. You notice it right off the line for sure when you're coming off a stop sign or a red light. If you want more power, it's definitely there. It's nice when you're turning out onto a busy street. It gives the vehicle a lot more ability to get out into traffic. Because the 4Runner is just, it's not that heavy, but it's got a small engine. Its weight to horsepower ratio is just a little off, and Toyota seems to do that a lot with their older vehicles, especially. I have a V8 Land Cruiser 2001 that also it just doesn't have the power that I think that it really needs to be a really great vehicle. Just the ratio is a little off. And with the 4Runner, it definitely helps having that extra power. And for me, the learning experience of putting the Supercharger in the vehicle was so much fun. I spent a lot of time reading on Toyota 4Runner forums, watching videos. There's some great videos out there on installation. The guys at Underdog Racing were really helpful getting me the proper instruction kit that I needed for my wiring harness to retune the engine, because I didn't buy this Supercharger kit brand new, and after driving and having it for a few months now, I probably would not spend the money on a brand new Supercharger kit for the 3.4 liter engine, because to me the benefit just isn't there for the cost and what you're getting. I mean, I think I got around 80 to 90 more horsepower out of the engine, and that's awesome, don't get me wrong. I'm really happy with it, but I don't think that I would want to spend $3,000–4,000 on the Supercharger kit. You know, the way I acquired this kit was I bought a two-wheel drive 4Runner. I believe it was a 2000 or a 2001 at the wholesale auto auction here in Georgia, and that particular vehicle had a gas leak. I made another video on that talking about that whole truck and what was going on with it, but that particular truck had a gas leak. It was low mileage and it had the Supercharger on it, and I got it for a good price. I think I paid $4,200 for it or something like that, and it had 140,000 miles and it had the Supercharger. So when I bought it, my thinking was, I'm spending $4,200 on this vehicle, but the Supercharger kit alone, with the tuner, with the injector, with the fuel pump and all that, is around $4,000. So I jumped on it. I was able to get the gas leak fixed. I swapped intakes from this vehicle to the other 4Runner and put the Supercharger on this vehicle. The gas leak was resolved. It was just a evap system issue, and then I was able to sell that vehicle for, I believe I sold it for $8,200. I need to look at the numbers on that, but I had to do some recon in it, so I ended up putting probably $700 into the vehicle. So I made money selling that other 4Runner, and I got the Supercharger out of it, which was a win-win for me. So overall, I'm super happy with the kit that's on the 4Runner. It runs really strong. I love the low end torque. I like the whine, I like the way it sounds. And it's kind of cool knowing that most 4Runners out there are not running a supercharger. I don't see these often. I actually saw one for sale on Facebook not too long ago. Guy had a really clean 2-wheel drive 4Runner, low mileage with a supercharger. I think he was asking like 17 or 18K for that thing. And I don't know if it's worth that, but it's definitely cool to see some more unique vehicles, or a vehicle that just doesn't have the same parts or engine components that other vehicles have. I guess that's kind of why you get into tuning and customizing. You make your vehicle your own and have fun with it. And with this 4Runner build, I've had so much fun. I've learned so much about the 3.4 liter Toyota engine. I had some issues after installing the supercharger in this particular vehicle. My check engine light was coming on. Vehicle kept going into limp mode, and it was having a lot of trouble with air fuel mixture ratios. And what I ended up doing to fix that was clean the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body. Drove it for about 10-15 miles. The check engine light stayed on and eventually cleared itself. I think that the computer just had to recalibrate with the supercharger, forcing more air into the engine. It was trying to get all the ratios correct. And once I did that, everything started working smoothly, and I have not had any issues out of this vehicle since. It's running great. It does need an oil change, but other than that, we're doing solid. So overall, supercharger is great. If you can find one at a good price, maybe on the forums, or you buy a wrecked vehicle or a used vehicle that has one, I would recommend doing the project. It's a lot of fun. There's a learning curve, but once you get it all done, get it all buttoned up, I think that you will like your 4Runner even more. All right, we're gonna do the on-ramp with the supercharger installed. 0 to 70, well, not quite, but acceleration to 70, coming on the acceleration ramp. Let's see how the 4Runner does compared to stock. Sting 60, and there's 70 right there. I appreciate everybody tuning in, watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful. I hope you like the content that I'm putting out. I'm trying to get better at my videos and cut stuff together more creatively, still having fun with it. So if you like the video, tap the thumbs up button, and I appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel and check out more content on the way. All right, everybody, peace out. I appreciate it. Dude.